you're not going to pay me until you're selling for a price that you're happy with. 3-4 weeks later, I sold 200,000 more than the unit 3 meters below, but same layout, same property.
When you can prove that, you're worth that extra commission.
I never found getting listings very hard, very difficult. A lot of objections at that time is like, oh, why list with K&S but not Ray White and other big names? And I said to my sellers, I said, look, it's one of many transactions for a lot of big names agent. There's one out of one with KC.
What's 3 pieces of advice you'd give to agents that are looking to level up?
Get out of your comfort zone. Always stay hungry.
And the third piece? Agents, welcome to the Get Keen podcast, your #1 destination for learning how to get the most out of your real estate career. I'm Dan Lee, founder of Plum Property, one of Queensland's largest independent real estate offices, and Plum Partners, where we've helped dozens of agents create, run and grow their very own agencies. On Get Keen, I chat to high-performing agents, principals, and agency owners, so you have the tools, strategies, and insights to grow your business and live the best life for yourself and your family. Now let's get keen. Welcome back to Get Keen. You're here because you're probably in real estate and you want to further your career. You want to get better. You want to learn from the best. And today I've got a really extraordinary guest on the show. He's a man you probably haven't heard of because he hasn't been in the industry that long. Only 2 years today, in fact. 2 years ago today, he started as a junior associate in a Ray White office. And today he's the owner of his own business, K&S Property, and has just successfully settled his 90th property for the year. He's earned over $2 million in GCI in his second year of real estate, out on his own with his own business. That's pretty incredible. So today I've got with me KC Yeung from K&S Property, here to share his story and his secrets to fast success. KC, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dan. That's the podcast I watched when I was driving back to work as an associate. So thanks for having me here.
Mate, it's awesome to hear that you were listening to my podcast as an associate and while you were starting your own business. And that's, you know, been one of the tools that you've used to elevate yourself.
For sure. It took me 40 minutes to drive from, home to work. It took me 30 minutes to finish the show and then listen to a few music to hype my day up. So
I love that, mate. Well, thank you for listening. I'm glad that you've got so much value out of it. And that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast, is help people to elevate themselves to the next level, just like KC's done. So, mate, opening your own... First of all, before we get into that, can you just give us 3 minutes of your history before real estate and what drove you to sort of make the change into real estate at 33 years old?
Sure. Long story short, 2 years ago, I was in retail. I was at David Jones selling suits, Yeah. I feel like, look, I can do more because retail is just not paying. We do the hard work, but it's not a rewarding industry. So then I was like, okay, I either sell cars or real estate. I end up selling real estate. So I was fortunate enough to work in Ray White, with a very great agency. I was associated with one of the top guns in the area. It wasn't for a long time, only for 2-3 weeks. And then he saw the potential in me. He let me be independent. So everything's passed now. So
that was Jason Song, right?
Jason Song, the king of Parkinson.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Legend. I've had him on the podcast, actually.
Yes.
So check the show notes for Jason Song's episode. You'll learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks with him, and then you went out on your own.
I went out as an independent agent in his team.
Yeah.
For a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I literally say, fuck, man, if I'm going to do it in 5 years' time, why not now? So I start my own agency.
Okay, yeah. Wow. So that's a really quick move. Most people stay in real estate for, who knows, 4 or 5 years, build up a team, build up a much stronger reputation, and then make that move. That's quite a scary move to jump out on your own so early.
It is a gamble, I have to admit that. But I got support from my family, I say, are you ready to be staffing? And they say, okay, let's do it. They trust me, so it just keeps me work harder,
Yeah, so from retail to in Ray White, there for 4 months, doing quite well, but you weren't there for that long, to just going balls to the wall.
Yep.
I'm just going to go out and start my own.
Exactly.
You must have been scared.
I'm scared.
You're still scared?
I'm still scared.
Yeah.
I'm actually a person who likes to panic.
Okay.
And I think that just keeps me more hungry, to work harder.
Right.
Yeah.
So you still have that fear of failure?
I sold 10 properties in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling you, yesterday I had the worst day in my last 6 months. I'm panicking. I said, fuck, man, I need to get more stock. I have nothing to sell. My associate's finishing work at 1 p.m. in Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's no good for me as a lead agent or a sales principal. So it pushed me work harder yesterday. Signed a 3-4 listings yesterday. So I think those sort of attitude and personality of mine, just keeps me work harder.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the reasons that kind of pushed, like, there is no plan B, right?
Yep.
And when you put a little bit of pressure on yourself like that, if things are comfortable, things are easy, you don't push yourself. You kind of need those nerves and that pressure to, make you step up.
I like to be out of the comfort zone. I think.
Yeah, that's it. Every successful business owner, steps outside the comfort zone, gets themselves uncomfortable and gets comfortable with that, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, so did people try and talk you out of starting your own business?
Not really. I mean, everyone's show a lot of support.
Yeah.
I mean, they see my potential. I mean, it's just all about my attitude. They see me work hard, and I think real estate is not rocket science. It's not a hard industry to make money or to survive in. You just got to work harder. You just got to outwork everyone else. I think that's just the DNA in me. So
good, yeah. So you've got great self-discipline, because that's the hard part about real estate, right?
That's right.
It's not hard to pick up a phone and dial phone numbers and try to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
The hard part is having the motivation to just do it.
Yeah.
Right?
And adapt the rejection as well. I've been through a lot of rejections in life, so every time there's a rejection, it just makes me stronger. So
you get rejected a lot?
A lot. First real estate interview, I got rejected.
Yeah.
I went for a 2 days trial. They said I have those Chinese accents, so they say I'm not going to survive in the industry. That's word to word. But personally, I sold more than what the agency does this year, so I'm very happy.
Nice. And what was your motivation to start your own business after only 4 months in?
I like managing people. I like recruiting agents. I like helping agents to succeed. Okay, I always talk to my agents. I'm not any smarter, any better than you guys. If I can do it, if Casey can do it, you guys can do it. So I'm just helping them to grow as well.
So you obviously have a vision to grow a larger agency outside yourself?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the vision?
That's the vision. And that's why I want to start my own agency as well.
Where do you picture yourself in like 3 to 5 years with this business?
Multi-agency sales principal, 50 agents, that's my goal. I got 10 agents right now in my first year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 10 independent agent, 3 associate. I have an amazing team. We call them family. So
yeah. Have you, are they all fresh in the industry, or are some of them already been agents for a while?
Some of them have been agents for 30 years, and some of them are the associates of some top agents, top names out there, which I see a lot of potentials, because associates did all those hard work for agents.
Definitely.
So I see a lot of potentials in them. I recruit them. I provide them a platform to shine.
Yes. And what makes it appealing for these guys to come and join your business?
I think just sharing the same vision. Also, I'm always happy to recognize people. I always put my associate's name on the signboard. I'm happy to recognize them on social media. We got enough recognition as a sales principal. They are the people who deserves to be recognized.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, a lot of principals or lead agents sometimes hide behind their own ego, and they don't want to show that, the associate behind the scenes doing the work and that sort of thing. So you're really encouraging that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So what's the hardest part about having your own business compared to being a real estate agent in someone else's business?
I think it's just not about selling, listing, buying. It's all about managing people, as what I mentioned. Dramas happen every day. I'm sure you know that. Someone's not happy with someone, blah blah blah. I'm the person who try to make everything works, collaborate. And also be an agent on the other hand.
That's right. So just wearing so many different hats, right? You got to be a leader. You got to, manage the team. You've got to provide structure. You got to build up the team and motivate them and keep everyone on side and happy and enjoying the journey. And at the same time, You got to spend 40 to 50 hours being a sales agent, listing,
yes.
selling, head in the game,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. And it's always about creating an environment. It's not about just KC myself. It's about every one of you guys, as an independent agent or my associates,
I love that about you. I love what you've said there. That's, great. A great leadership style is to build up your team and not make it about yourself.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
And I can see already that's one of the big reasons why your agency is becoming so successful very quickly. It's a really great leadership style. All right. Don't ever let your ego get in the way, no matter how big you get.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's what I see in the best real estate business owners is they leave their ego behind at the door.
That's right.
What's the best thing so far about having your own business?
Freedom,
Yeah.
to work in a more updated way, unlike the old school real estate. To be honest, I have not door knocked over 5 doors in my career. Okay, not saying door knock doesn't work. It works for a lot of agents, but for me, it's all about cold calling. It's all about leveraging my sales to get another listing.
Yeah.
So my goal for myself when I was fresh in the industry, every listing I sold, I need to get another listing out of it.
Sure.
That's my minimum KPI.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's dive into that a little bit more. So tell us, since opening the doors, because you're only an agent for 4 months at your previous agency before opening K&S. What did you do to get the wheels moving, get those first listings? Or, what did you do to get listings really fast?
I don't know. I never found getting listings very hard, very difficult. Okay. However, I think a lot of objections at that time is like, oh, why list with K&S but not Ray White and other big names? And I said to all my sellers, I said, look, it's one of many transactions for a lot of big names agent, but it's 1 out of 1 with KC. I will be the one who do everything for you and with me only. So I'm going to leverage your sale to get another listing. So no one's more motivated and hungry than me to get you the top price.
So that's how you handle the objection of when someone says to you, you haven't been around that long. Your business is pretty new. I am talking to Ray White. They've got, or LJ Hooker or McGraw, whatever, they've got 200 offices, 300 offices. They've got a bigger network. They've got more buyers. Why should we go with you?
Yep. I think that's exactly how I handle that. But also I always leverage me being Chinese, I have a lot of strong Chinese buyers, supporting my business. I've dealt with a lot of clients. They can buy with any other agents out there in the local area, but they just can't speak English. So they end up calling me and say, KC, you speak Chinese? I say, yeah, I do. Okay, I'm going to do business with you, especially the area in Ipswich. There's not much Chinese agents out there. So it actually happened twice in the last month.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
all right.
yeah.
So you found a niche for yourself. You speak Chinese.
Yeah.
How do you find the numbers of a lot of these sellers overseas in China?
A lot of sellers in overseas, when they bought off the plan from developers, they mainly buy as for investors, so they're not making much capital growth in apartments, so they're all trying to sell it. So we really targeted those sellers.
Okay, so that's been a big listing tool for you?
It is big. It is big for all my apartments, yes.
Okay, so how do you go about getting the contact details for overseas people? It's really hard.
That's kind of a secret,
Is it a secret source? You can't tell us.
But we try to get the most accurate data, and we do proud of ourselves, getting those data, and they're always exclusive, so they're not even got access to Google, so they can't compare different agents. They always sell with their the on-site building manager.
Yeah.
But I always say to them, look, the on-site building manager is only going to sell it back to the rent roll. They want to keep the rent roll. For us, it's all about selling to the best buyer, which is the buyer who paid the top dollar. Okay, that's how I get a lot of my business. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a common one.
Yeah.
I used to always come up against that with the on-site managers wanting to sell, and they've usually got a better relationship.
Yeah.
But the objection there is, hey, the on-site manager, they're very worried about this property selling and someone moving in, they lose their rental business.
Exactly.
So they're just going to be put off from anyone that's buying.
Yeah.
So if you sell with me, I'm looking at both investors and owner-occupiers who usually buy with more of their heart involved because they're going to live there. And owner-occupiers tend to pay a higher price because they're more emotionally invested.
Yes. That's right.
So you use those kind of words.
Exactly.
Nice. Have you had much trouble listing property because you're a fairly new business?
Not really.
No?
I think I got one rejection, but eventually listed with me after the Ray White agent did not sell.
Okay.
Okay. So I got rejected first because I was no one. There's no big brands to support me. So they eventually chose a bigger brand to go with, but you end up selling with us. So I don't encounter much rejections regarding, oh, you're still new to the business. What's KNS? No.
No? Okay, cool. I guess you've already got quite a few sales under your belt, so you can use that to leverage your
Yes.
position.
Everything's so much easier. And also, I focus on getting my reviews. I got, 240 reviews on realestate.com.
How many?
240.
240.
Yes. I chase every reviews.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
If there's 2 sellers, I get 2 reviews from the seller. If there's
Okay.
3 buyers in the family, I get 3 from this. So I get 5 per listing.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
This is the things that people always look at when they chose to call you. So
Yeah.
last month alone, I got 8 appraisal requests. I signed 6 of them, and then 6 of them are actually calling me because they look at my profile on realestate.com. For sure, they're the reviews. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
yeah.
Because the reviews on realestate.com, they disappear after 12 months, don't they?
No, they don't.
They don't? Well,
They
they used
stay
to.
forever.
They're staying forever
stay
now.
forever,
Okay. They
yeah.
used to it used to only show you 12 months
Yeah.
worth of reviews, but now they stay. But in 2 years, you've got 240.
Yes.
I see agents out there that are they've been in the industry for 10 years and they're quite good agents,
Yeah.
and they've got 20, 30 reviews.
Yeah, I mean, review is the only thing that comes with the agent for life. If you switch agency, you lost all your all your recent sold.
Yes, true.
Yes, review stays with you. So when I left Ray White, I still got 100 reviews with me.
Right.
So people knew I wasn't new to the market. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the point I always tell my sellers. Yeah.
So that's a really good tool for all agents.
Yeah.
Just double down on the reviews, right?
yeah.
And get more than one.
Get more than one. I got 4 per listings. I chased
That's
the
awesome.
8 years old kid for a review. Do you like me? They write simple review, but I really appreciate them.
Yeah. And do you go for reviews on other platforms as well?
Yeah, I did use Rate My Agent as well, but
Yeah.
I think realestate.com it's a platform everyone refers to.
Right.
Rate My Agent is more for, I think, agent marketing themselves, yeah.
Market doesn't really look at Rate My Agent.
I mean, I got 2 listings out of Rate My Agent, so I can't say it's still a very nice platform.
Yeah.
But I think realestate.com is definitely
It's got more traffic than
100%,
anything,
yes.
right? So with and how do you usually easily ask for a review?
I mean, I usually ask it on the day when it goes unconditional. I don't wait until settlement.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because they are emotional at that time when the deal finally gone unconditional or sold at auction. I'll chase them up for the review straight away.
Right then.
Right
Is
there.
that part of your process?
Part of my process, and I'm a review freak.
Yeah.
So people say, why you keep showing off your reviews? That's everything about KC,
Yeah.
and clients' testimonial.
That's your proof.
That's the proof.
That's your proof.
When you go to a fancy restaurant, you look at the reviews, don't you?
Definitely.
Yes. So
Hotels, I look at reviews.
when they choose an agent, it's expensive.
When events, I look at reviews.
yeah.
Everything, I look at reviews.
Exactly.
I know I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do as well. So that's why I want to really build my portfolio.
Hey guys, just quickly, if you're loving this content and you're a real estate agent that's already thinking what it might be like to have your own real estate business and brand, then check out the show notes. There'll be a link to our Plum Partners website where you can leave an inquiry and me or one of my team members will reach out. We help agents to create, run, and grow their own real estate business and brand so they can earn more and set up a better future for themselves. So get keen, get in touch. Now let's get back to the episode. And so you can, on realestate.com, you can easily send a request to anyone that's been involved in the purchase?
You can, yes, you can. You send them a link. I always do that on the message. Say, thank you for the business. I know I did a good result for you. Do you mind spare 2 to 3 minutes for me? Just do a simple 5-star review. They always do that for me.
Doesn't realestate.com check whether they were the seller or the buyer?
I don't know if they check, but all of my reviews are genuine.
No, I know, but they used to. I don't know if they've changed.
They send an SMS code to the seller.
Oh, okay.
So to verify.
So to verify. So
Yes,
that's how they
right.
do it now.
Yes.
They used to. I don't know if they might have relaxed the rules a bit, but when I used to get the reviews on realestate.com, because I haven't been selling for a couple of years now, they actually would check the name of who've bought it.
Okay,
and so if it didn't match, they wouldn't publish the review. But they might have changed that rule now. So that's good. You can get heaps of reviews per per listing. Massive tool. That's awesome. I haven't heard any agent say that. It's so obvious. Right?
I
Like
know.
who goes that hard on reviews.
Yeah.
You don't seem to have a core area as such.
I market myself initially when I start the career as an apartment agent.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to set a certain core area that limits me. You know, I have worked with one of the top agent in, you know, a local area.
Yeah.
It's tough, you know, to maintain that market share. There's a lot of like letterbox drop, a lot of, you know, door knocking needs to be done. So I was like, okay, let's make it an apartment agent for myself.
Yeah.
And that's how I market myself. You know, I've been doing good. So leverage sales after sales, knocking, calling the building every time I sold a property for a record price. That's what we just keep doing, you know. And there's a complex with 15 units in Murray, and we sold 8 of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so in the last 7 months.
So what's your process, like your prospecting process when you get a listing?
Just
like,
list.
Do you have a program for when you list it and when you sell it?
I mean, I don't do anything that's different compared to other agents. Just when I list a property, I let the seller know, I let all the owner knows there's a property coming to the market. When a property hit a record price, I call them all. I bulk text them.
Yeah.
So my associate does all that. So we keep them updated. You know, get a few rejections every now and then, but usually they're happy to get updated.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then when it sells,
when
the
it sells,
same process?
First day they will know.
Yeah.
They will know before other agents leverage my sell to let them know the update. So I always make sure I'm the first one to tell you.
Right.
Yes.
So on unconditional day.
Unconditional day.
Yeah, or auction day.
Auction day.
Like within a couple of days, everyone's going to know.
Everyone's know.
And what sort of things do you do? What are all the things you'll do to let everyone know?
I'll just calling them, bulk text, you know. I got an agent who actually door knock apartments. You know?
Yeah, okay, so, like goes on the buzzer.
Those on the buzzers, yeah.
Stands down at the front door.
I know, but there's nothing easier than getting a second listing, third listing from an apartment complex.
Yeah,
it's just so easy. Yeah,
it is. Hey, and they're easy to price. A lot of the time. When you sell a house on a street and then the neighbor goes, "Come over to mine," it's completely different.
Yeah,
it's really easy with apartments. They're either 2-bed, they're 3-bed, and they face this way or this way. They're quite easy to, owners. I found, like, I sold a lot of apartments. I always found that they were easier to sell.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
because they were easier to price and they were easier to educate the seller.
Yeah,
like the sellers couldn't get delusional about their unit that was one floor or above or below being 250,000 more. It's like literally the same thing just sold for this. You can't tell me that. So they're easily educated, right? So seeing as you don't have a lot in the same area, because the traditional method for agencies and I believe in the traditional, have a core area, have a farm area. I'm not saying it's the only way to do your real estate, and you've obviously found another way to do real estate, and it's really worked for you. I really believe in the core area. It's the thing that I was taught. It worked well for me. It works well for other agents. And there are a lot of benefits to owning a core area because people do feel more comfortable selling with an agent that sells more in their area. You do get to know people easier and more, and it becomes easier to list, and you just become an attraction agent in your area, right? You don't have that so much. So when, and one of the objections I would come across a lot, and I'm sure every agent does, is whenever we get a listing opportunity that's outside the area that we do a lot of business in, we often get that objection, we are talking to another agent, who is it? Oh, and it's the person who's doing way more in that area. And we come across the objection, there's another agent that sells a lot more in here. Why should we sell with you?
Okay, I think there's 2 ways to handle that. And I have that objection every single appraisal. I say, Casey, you never sell in this area. I always said to them, number one, the worst thing a seller can do is to sell your property to one of your neighbors, because they know the property more than the agent itself. They probably know the property more than you as the owner. So these are not the people who will be educated easily. Second thing I always said to them, look, I only got 1 stock in this certain area, while the other, top agent in the area got 10 stock. If a quality buyer comes out, which stock is the agent going to lead the buyer into? I never had any trouble, going against that objection. And
right. So there's always a way to prove to the owner, one way or the other that, your way is going to get them a better price.
Yep.
So you're saying for you, you would say, hey, I may only have one listing in this
Yep.
area. The other agent's got 10.
Yep.
If they have a buyer, they're going to show the buyer all 10 and say, which one do you love?
That's right.
I'm going to get that buyer and say, yours is the best.
Yours are exclusive.
Right? Yours exclusive. This is why this one's... Yours is the only one I'm trying to sell.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
That works for you a lot.
It works for me. I never, I'm proud of my conversion rate. I don't do as much appraisal as other agents do because I got a kid myself and I'm 8 years old. I want to spend more time with him. So instead of going 30 appraisals a week, I only go to 8 appraisals or 7 appraisals a week, but I try to close them more.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really.
But they're more listing presentations.
They're more listing presentations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because an appraisal may just be a property update. They're not selling yet.
I will let my associates to do that.
Yeah.
They need an opportunity to try doing those sort of one-on-one seller vendor meeting as well. So
yeah, okay.
I'll send them off for those.
So you're at the stage where you're basically not going to an appraisal unless it's a listing opportunity.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
right.
a nice position to be in after
That's
2
right.
years.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right. Yeah.
I spent many years, doing the 30, 40 appraisals a month to build the relationship and build rapport. And look, it worked for me.
I just feel
I
like
would still get my 6 listings a month, 8 listings a month when I was a high performer.
Yeah,
But
I just feel like that's the opportunity for the associates or other independent agent to try on their own to speak to the vendor one-on-one without Casey next to them. I think that's a good way. So I always send them out to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Do you discount your commission ever?
No, not really. I'm quite tough on my commission.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I always say, look, you're not going to pay me until you get selling for a price that you're happy with. I'm not getting paid earlier than you do, Mr. and Mrs. Wendell. So, and I think one time, a true story, okay, I was selling 610 in an apartment. So 510 just sold, so the owner was very panicking. He was chasing for 1.45. The 510 just sold for 1.38, so he was freaking panicking. He called me and I said, look, let me do the job, stop complaining about the commission, okay? I'll get you the top price. I think 3-4 weeks later, I sold 200,000 more than the unit 3 meters below, but same layout, same property. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, when you can prove that, you're worth that extra commission.
Yeah.
What's your standard commission?
3%, GST inclusive, yeah.
Okay, 3%. That's higher than the average, I would say.
Not really, I mean.
It is around here. Maybe in your area it's not, but it is around here. Yeah. So what would you say if you were in a listing presentation, okay, because you're doing 7 or 8 a month, right?
A week.
Oh, okay. Well, you're closing, say, 10 a month, right? Listings, because you've done 90 in the last 12 months. So let's say you're closing 10 a month. So you must come across the commission objection quite often, right?
Yep.
Hey, 3%, we've had another agent come through 2.2.
Yep.
Like, would you be willing to do it for that?
I mean, I always use the Tom Panels one, get you 10% more results. I'm only charging you 1% higher than other agents, so I'm still 9% cheaper, Always trying to joke around that. Actually, sellers knows. If an agent cannot even protect their best interest, how on earth they can protect your best interest, which is your property?
Yeah.
And I always say to the seller, I got 3% share in your property. Okay, I got 3% stake. I'm a shareholder. Why would I on earth, to undersell that property,
I love that.
Yeah,
I've got a 3% share in your property.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a 3%
shareholder.
stake. I'm a stakeholder in your property when I put it on the market.
So why would I undersell that? I'm going to work my ass off, dude.
I want to get maximum result as well.
Exactly. I'm going to leverage your one to get another one. I told them,
I really like that line. I haven't heard that one before. That's really good. I'm going to be a 3% stakeholder in your property. Yeah. Okay. So what does a normal day look like for you now?
Going back to the office, picking up calls from different agents, vendor update, just normal day,
Yeah.
Nothing.
But it's a lot on the phone, right?
A lot on the phone.
How many calls? Do you log your calls?
I reckon at least 200 calls a day.
200?
200s, yes. Yeah, so I'm managing 20 campaigns right now. And then other agents call me regarding their campaign, ask for advice,
200's a lot.
Yeah, 200, yes.
You're actually logging that?
Yes.
What time do you start and finish work?
My 7 a.m.
You start at 7?
Start answering calls.
Yeah.
Finish work maybe. I like closing contracts midnight.
Yeah.
So 11 p.m., 12 p.m., 12 a.m. I'm still working. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to spend more time with your kid.
I spend a lot of time with him, but not quality-wise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always there, but he's always a dad with the phone, you know.
Right. Okay, so you're like literally working into the night.
Into the night, yes.
7 a.m. start and then into the night.
Yeah, nighttime's the most efficient time for myself.
Yeah. So you get home, you have dinner, you're still banging out calls.
Yeah. I'm in my study room. When my son goes to bed, that's when I start working.
Holy man.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my first years in business.
Yeah.
I was like that for like the first 3 or 4 years. Hopefully you don't work like that forever.
Hopefully, you know.
So, look, we don't have a lot of time left. This has been full of really valuable information, but you know, you're a guy that's had fairly extraordinary success. There's not many. I speak to a lot of agents. I look at a lot of agents' profiles. I was an agent myself. It took me a lot longer to reach that kind of success that you've reached in your time. You've had really quick success, right? What's 3 pieces of advice you'd give to agents that are looking to level up?
Get out of your comfort zone. Always stay hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, like as I mentioned, when I sold 10 last 10 days or whatever, I feel panic. I don't go out and celebrate. I don't spend my holiday in Bali, you know. I actually panic. I have no stock left. I got to keep working hard. And I think that's just a discipline you need to do as an independent agent. Okay, so I mean, that's what I keep motivate myself. You know, I'm never satisfied. This year I reached 2 million. Next year my goal is 4 million. Okay, you know, back in the days I always want to be $1 million agent. I always want to. When I reach 1 million, I want to be 2 million. I'm never satisfied, and that's just me.
And the third piece?
Listen to Get Keen. And I think that's true. I listen to it every day. I listen to every single episode, and I learn a lot from that. And you share your mistakes. You share, you know, a lot of valuable, you know, insights from the industry. So I really appreciate that as well.
Mate, that's the best piece of advice anyone's ever given on this podcast is to listen to Get Keen. I love that. Mate, you are an extraordinary guy. I'm really excited to see where your career is going to go.
Thank you.
I've been watching you. You know, you reached out to me on Instagram, thanked me for the podcast, and we've had a few chats. And I've been watching you from a distance, and I've just really noticed how much you've taken off. So I thought, man, I got to get this guy on the podcast to share what he's doing. And I really appreciate, and everyone listening appreciates you coming in here and being so open and giving you valuable advice on how to get to the $2 million mark so quickly.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries, Casey, man. I wish you all the best. And maybe we'll see you back on the podcast in another year's time. And see
when I reach 4 million.
When you reach 4 million, we'll get you back on, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Get Keen podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please show your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And make sure you subscribe on your favorite platform too. Don't stop there. Join our community of forward thinkers by connecting with me on social media at Dan_Lee_Plum. I'm looking forward to exploring more strategies and insights with you on your journey to the top. Until next time, keep getting keen.